What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 here in Milan. Me and Ian got up this morning. We're at a beautiful little cafe right across from our hostel. Feeling like Ernest Hemingway here, sitting at a little European cafe, getting some food in us. We were out last night. Plenty of people to meet today. It's going to be a great day. So, I've got the lasagna here, some quiche. Gave it a try already. It's absolutely amazing. So fresh. Dude, you gotta try that. What is it? It's like quiche. I don't even know what's in it. It's amazing. Try that, bro. Pretty good, right? Wow. Right? So right down the street, I was walking to get my haircut. They have an awesome little fruit and vegetable market going on. I asked the lady to buy an orange. She asked me if I wanted 1 kilo. I was like, no, just 1 orange. And so she gave it to me for free, which was awesome. Would be sweet to have all this fresh fruit and vegetables right outside your door every day.
All right, jumping on here just to explain a few of these clips. Here's this pastry shop that we went to. Had some really amazing pastries. Next, we went to the Duomo in downtown Milan with this really nice girl that we met from our hostel. She joined us. She was from California. There's some pictures of us there. It was a really pretty building. We had to pay to get inside, but it was definitely worth it. Those huge pillars in there and such a big open area was breathtaking in there. Had some cool old art inside. Beautiful stained windows. There's me trying to whisper inside.
This place.
Lastly, you'll see here in a second where we ended the night at this little Aperol terrace. It's called the Terrazza Aperol, where you can have a couple drinks and watch the sunset.
What's up, guys? It is day 3 here in Milan, and we're officially leaving what has been an incredible city. We've had a great time. We've went out a little too much, but had a ton of fun. Dan and Ian are now getting McDonald's close to the bus stop. We need to take the bus to our train stop and then get on about an hour and 50-minute train to the Florence train stop, where then we can hopefully check into our hostel in a little while after 3 p.m. And right now it's currently 9:09 a.m. We got up nice and early this morning. Beautiful day. Can't complain, and we'll check back in with another update in a little while. How was the OJ?
It was really good. It's much needed after last night.
Our $20 train ticket got us water, some cookies, some OJ, and these beautiful seats
Chocolate.
with the wall. We just got off the train here in Florence. Nicest train I have ever been on. Absolutely beautiful, cheap tickets. We got snacks and drinks. Florence is looking beautiful, a little more hilly, more of that like Italian. What you think of when you think of Italy is kind of what Florence is looking like to me. Public transportation has been amazing here so far. Everyone's been super nice and helpful. Now we're going to try to find our hostel, see if they'll let us check it in a little early, and explore the city. Well, I just arrived at our hostel. I'm not sure where Dan and Ian went, but we got our bags checked in. We can't yet check into our room. It is absolutely beautiful here, though. This hostel is even nicer than the last one we stayed at. We're at Yellow Square, Florence. You can see the view. Absolutely beautiful behind me. And they have a little rooftop, like, bar and pool up here, which is awesome. So check out, there's the pool. Awesome rooftop area. and you can look out on the city. Really amazing here so far. Seems like there's a lot of awesome people. I already met 2 people from Australia, and I cannot wait to see what these next 4 days in Florence. I almost said Milan. Hold. That was quick. Howdy, howdy. So last night we went out to the club. It was like a very Americanized club that a lot of students go to, since we met our friends here who are students studying abroad. So definitely was a lot of Americans there. It was a fun time. We got in super late. I wanted to take some time though to show you our hostel. It's really nice. We have a great view of just a little bit of the city, and let me show it to you guys real quick. Do not mind how messy it is. There's 2 bunks there, 1 bed here. Everything's yellow. It's called Yellow Square. Here's the great view outside. We got this guy out there staining the deck, poor guy. And then the bathroom is also super nice, with a really nice shower, toilet, little sink area there, and again, the view with this big window that opens up. So that's the hostel that we're staying in here at Yellow Square, Florence. Probably gonna take it a little bit easier today. I need a day to recoup, check some things out, and just chill out and enjoy the city.
Next up, we walked to one of the most famous cathedrals in all of Italy, called the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. Really beautiful building, had a ton of art on it, just some cool architecture. Walked all the way around that, and it was really neat to see. Wish there were more churches like that here in the US. This was the best sandwich place I have ever been to in my entire life. Next up, I just wanted to film at the grocery store. They had a ton of fresh meats and cheeses. You'll see here in a second all the meat they have back there. This is like paradise. And here's Ian taking a nap with a pizza box on his head, so I wouldn't share the couch. We didn't cook dinner that night. We got a bunch of stuff at the grocery store, and there's some bus and Brussels sprouts that Nick Scott made, some mashed potatoes, and cooked up some steaks as well.
Some of that cheese is, where's that butter at? Don't say it. Actually, no, he pulls it out. Are you vlogging at all? Dan! Nice.
The next day I headed over to the Uffizi Gallery, which is an art gallery in Florence. They had some really cool art there. Amazing what some talented people can do who are not me. That is the Spring painting by Botticelli. They also had the Birth of Venus there and some other amazing famous paintings.
Just back from the Uffizi Gallery. Was absolutely beautiful. The art there is insane, from Donatello to Michelangelo. It's really insane. In the elevator, had to get a picture for the boys. They're already drinking. This will be, I just had an aperitivo earlier, and now my first beer of the day. Should be a great day. Another beautiful day here in Florence. Italy so far has been absolutely amazing. I mean, check out this view from the top of our hostel. How can you complain with that view? We have the foothills of, I think, is these the foothills of the Dolomites? I don't know. Some hills, almost mountains in the background. Wonderful food, good wine, as I'm drinking beer, but great wine, and just an amazing time meeting people at the hostel, seeing the art that I saw today at Uffizi Gallery, It's been absolutely amazing so far. I'm looking at the Duomo right now and a little tower, but there's the Duomo. So much history here. Everything is so much older than in the States. And yeah, just so cool that I get to do this. Very thankful, and we're just having an amazing week. So far, things that have really impressed me, the hostels here. I've stayed at 2 Yellow Square hostels in Milan and here in Florence. Everyone has been so kind. The architecture here is amazing. It's just so pretty just to look at the buildings. And what's the third thing? Third thing that has impressed me, the pizza. Oh my god. Pizza I've had has been absolutely phenomenal. The meats, everything. It's been so good so far.
This was one of the top 10 meals I've ever had in my entire life at this restaurant called Zaza. I got steak and then also pasta with wild boar. Here is a walk on the river in Florence, and then we went to this lookout where you can see the whole city. So that night I walked home along the river, took in some of the sights, and then I ordered some pizza from down the street from our hostel and ate it in this little kitchen that's at the hostel. Alright, the next morning we got up and left early. This is at the Trevi Fountain, one of the first things we went to when we got to Rome. Super busy area. And then this here is the Vittorio Emanuele II monument. Next up, I headed to the Vatican Museums. That thing was actually a bathtub, an old bathtub, if I remember correctly. They had even more amazing art there than at Uffizi Gallery. So many statues and just this super long hallway with art all over the ceilings. It was really just breathtaking being in there. Here's this hallway where they just had all these amazing rugs. I was thinking that my mom would like that hallway. This was my favorite hallway. They had these huge maps, floor-to-ceiling maps of Italy, which would be such a cool thing to have in your house. Like, those are the kind of maps we need still. Hand-painted, really beautiful, and then art all over the ceiling. After I got out of the Sistine Chapel where you couldn't take pictures or video, that is St. Peter's Basilica. All those chairs are actually set up for when the Pope holds Mass outside. Inside, I think this was the most beautiful building I have ever been into. Gold ceilings everywhere. You can't even imagine how big it is from this video. It was just a really special church to be in. Beautiful art everywhere, and just the amount of detail in this building is quite insane. These ceilings here, like the top of that dome, is so much higher than it looks. The ceilings were, I have no idea how high they are, but insanely high. Here's a list of all of the popes in history. I guess they engrave every time there's a new one. So you can actually walk up into the dome in St. Peter's Basilica. That's where I am there. Here are the kind of mosaics on the walls, which I thought were cool. This is about halfway up to the very top of the dome. Now you can actually take an elevator like over halfway up to the top, or I think like 3/4 of the way up. But if you're not a sissy, you can climb the 521 steps like I did through the narrow corridors, which are getting very narrow here. And you can walk your way up to the dome and you'll enjoy the view much more. So don't be a little wuss. Crazy how tight it got up there. And here is the amazing view from the top. So here in a moment you'll see when I walked back down, they were actually holding a service in St. Peter's, and it was really amazing. Everyone was singing. It was one of those moments you just couldn't believe was real, so I stuck around for that. So after that, which was an amazing moment, almost made me want to tear up, I got some carbonara you saw there, and then walked back through some of the ruins. Thought it was pretty cool with that guy playing the guitar in the background. Gave it a very romantic vibe in the ruins. So shortly after I went to see the Colosseum, it actually started heavily hailing, which was quite insane. You'll see how strong it gets here. Then we skipped over the Mediterranean into Malta, which is basically just a big rock sticking out in the middle of the Mediterranean. Had no idea what to expect. It used to be a British colony, so they drive on the left side of the road. A lot different than here. The Airbnb we booked was great. Had a balcony view that was superb. You can see the Mediterranean Sea there.
Yeah, they have free Wi-Fi.
Right down the road was this little crepe stand, which I hit many times.
The chicken Caesar crepe.
Yeah.
First time I got the chicken Caesar, but every time I went back, I got Nutella and strawberries. Here you can see the sun setting. Really cool area, a lot different than Italy. All the boats out there. I'd really never heard much about Malta, but having been there now, it's one of the coolest places I've been. We booked this fishing charter. We had no idea what to expect. We only caught a couple little dinks, but it was still nice to get out on the water and to see some of the shores of Malta on the Mediterranean.
You're going to hold the rod like this, not like this, not like this, but 3 rod together. You go down.
Here we go, second fish already. Called a girlfriend. Caught 2 of them. Ian still not caught anything.
Get some bites over here. That's all that matters.
Let's see it. Bring it in close. Bring it in close. See them colors.
Dude, these
Let me see it.
colors are insane.
So our guide told us those were called girlfriend fish. Our guide actually used to be a professional spear fisherman. He was an interesting guy. Next up, I worked out here at this little workout area right on the water. Then we ate at this place called the Aft Galley, which my buddy's friend recommended. Again, one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten at. You can see the carnage we put on those plates. It was this Lebanese place. Really, really good food. We then took a 50-minute Uber through the countryside, which was cool to see, where we got on a ferry that took us to the Blue Lagoon on Comino Island. By far the bluest water my eyes have ever witnessed. We even swam across the lagoon and hiked up on a peak over there. It was a little touristy, but it was still a breathtaking view and a really cool place to be. You can see some boats out there on the water.
So I'm at the top here of this little hill, well, almost the top, at Blue Lagoon in one of the islands of Malta, the Comino Island, and it's absolutely beautiful up here. Playing a little music on this boat back here, but look at this view. Absolutely beautiful. The water is bright blue. We leave tomorrow for our flight back to Milan, and then we stay the night in Milan and then leave for home. But it's been an absolutely beautiful time here in Malta.